So how are they doing this? I guess the whole like Academy pure profit sales has literally put them into financial cheat mode. Wagwan G's, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. Genuinely, wholeheartedly do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Ooh, and there is Chelsea News. Pedro Neto has completed his medical as a new Chelsea player. Still ruddy buzzing about that signing. What a joyful, entertaining footballer that we need at Stamford Bridge. Bit on that. Also, Matt Law of the Telegraph's dropped an article. I say drop an article, it's like dropping an album. On how Chelsea's non-stop recruitment drive, recruitment drive, a spree, which is not done yet. Wow, how do they do it? They just keep going. They just keep ruddy going, don't they? Anyway, we're going to get into that today, so thank you for joining me, my dear sweet subscribers, viewers, supporters. Thank you for hanging out with me. As always, appreciated if you could drop a like on this video. If you're yet to subscribe and you like the content, hey, why don't you subscribe? Hey, and if you choose to subscribe, you should hit the bell. All right. First off, Pedro Neto has completed his Chelsea medicals. So saith Fabrizio Romano. Medical done. He is a Chelsea player. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but as you guys have probably, can tell from recent content that I've made, I'm ruddy guessed on this signing. Yes, he's got injury problems and blah, 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 but I'm feeling good about the injury situation at Chelsea at the moment. Touch wood, because Romeo Lavia is playing football, Reece James is playing football, Christopher Nkunku is playing football. The dark days are over. The dark days are... Dog days are bad, I'm guessing. The injury days are over, and we're moving forwards. And as we sang last season, for a fleeting moment, every little thing is going to be all right, mate. So feel good about Pedro Neto. An absolutely sensational footballer. Mega skills. Cruyff turns. Nutmegs. 1-2s. Feints, dummies. He'll do it all on the left wing, while Cole Palmer, I know Cole Palmer's probably not going to play right wing, but wow, just that side being opened up. Just open up that side of the pitch. We've been yearning for it. And it's here. Right, we are going to talk about Matt Law's article on the Telegraph. He says imminent signing of Pedro Neto continues busy transfer window for the club with listen to this, guys. He says, Matt Law says, plenty more deals on the cards. Plenty more deals. It's worth mentioning as well. I haven't read this because I like to react organically with you guys, but he published an article earlier speaking about how Trevoh Chalobah, Armando Broja, and some guy called Romelu Lukaku, not really heard of him, are training with the development squad. It's just story was made out of it. Look, they're not on the plans. They're not in the group. Makes sense. Just keep them fit, don't get them injured, and keep them ready for sale. Look, people were highlighting the fact how Broja went on the US tour and Trevoh didn't. It just doesn't matter, bro. We could bring another striker. We had loads of centre backs, but ultimately neither were never in the long term plans. We've done it to death. How it's Cole and Connor, on Conor Gallagher, but also Trevoh. But we're moving on. Okay, we're gonna be positive. There's a rebuild going on, and although we have no reason to trust them, really, we're in a position where we sort of have to trust them. The Chelsea sort of sporting directors and owners, because they've invested so heavily. Let's see your plan, mate. If it works, great. If it doesn't, there's going to be trouble eventually. So let's read Matt Law's article, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. Chelsea will remain one of the busiest clubs in the transfer window, with the club still open to adding to the new signing, of course, Pedro Neto, and aiming to sell or loan out at least 6 to 7 players. Woo, Mama Hare Krishna, that's a lot. The arrival of Neto could also encourage clubs to make approaches for players like Raheem Sterling and Noni Madueke, who Chelsea are not actively trying to sell, but most likely would listen to offers for. Just a quick word on that. Noni Madueke was probably our most promising attacker in pre-season. I like Noni. I think he's good. I think he's really promising, and I think he's nowhere near his ceiling. And I'll be very, very happy for him to stay. And I think Chelsea would too, hence this statement here that he's not actively for sale. But Noni, how much did Noni cost us? Late 20s? £28 million or something? Which at the time seemed like a radically high fee for this 20-year-old who, granted he was playing in the PSV first team by then, but it wasn't like he wasn't scoring loads of goals or anything. So, if Chelsea are probably thinking, right, people have seen this guy can operate at Premier League level, score against Man City. People can see his injury record's very good. People can see he won the England under-21 championships. People can see that he's coming off a scintillatingly red-hot pre-season and he's in excellent shape. No wonder the likes of maybe Newcastle United are interested. But of course, for Chelsea to listen to offers, they would absolutely need to make a profit of Noni Madueke. To the tune of, you'd have to say 35 million plus, in my opinion. Yes, Neto can play on both sides. He's predominantly actually played on the right-hand side, but he can comfortably play on the left as well. Kind of like Raheem Sterling. Of course, if you haven't seen the video from this morning on Raheem Sterling and the Juventus links, I suggest you go see that or watch that video. And also, it's worth mentioning, I'm using the X-Value stats platform at the moment quite extensively. You guys seem to enjoy it, so I'm really happy that I can bring some additional entertainment and insight to you, man. So yeah, go watch that video if you're yet to see it. Matt Law writes, he continues here, Sterling earns in excess of £300,000 per week at Chelsea and has shown no desire to leave. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because he earns £300,000 a week. I know, Go watch this morning's video. I give him loads of props. Sterling, he's an amazing player, amazing career. He's a professional and doesn't do anything wrong really, except poor decision making at times. But that has not stopped Italian reports suggesting Juventus are watching the situation. Amen. The signings of Neto and striker Samu Amaradion will take Chelsea's incoming transfer business for the summer into double figures. Double figures. My word. We sign a lot of players, don't we? What a meme it is. Although some of those players have been remained at their clubs this season and go out on loan. Yeah. What, Caleb Wiley, Aaron Anselmino, one of the thousands of goalkeepers we've signed, Chelsea had originally targeted the signing of a right-footed winger, of course, and bid for Michael Olise. But left-footed Neto can play on the left or the right. And as a number 10, although, guys, if you watched my Neto video when we looked at the X-Value stats, his last campaign, his heat map was on the flanks, never in the middle. Matt Law's writing here, he can play as a number 10. I don't doubt it. He's a super talented attacking midfielder winger player. But he last season, he was on a flank. Anyway, this fits the club's approach for the summer window of signing versatile players who are referred to internally at Chelsea as, quote, Swiss Army knives or Swiss Army players. There was considerable satisfaction taken from the fact Chelsea managed to work the signing of Neto for almost 2 months without their interest in the player being made public until the deal had already been agreed with the Wolverhampton Wanderers player. To be fair, in this age of incessant information and someone friggin' thinks about signing a player, Fabrizio Romano's knocking one out over it. Do you know what I mean? In this age when that's happening, fair play. This is like classic. This is vintage Chelsea. This is football heritage when we just pull a player out the bag. So fair play, man. Look, and by the way, it's around 60 million euros, pounds. That's a lot of money. It's not silly money, but it's what you'd expect for Pedro Neto. It's just the fact how we got him. The thing is, if Man City, I realise I'm just reverting to Neto chat here, but just quickly, if Man City signed Pedro Neto, you'd go, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And not because he's like some superstar, but because he's under 25 and he's just clearly an elite talent. In fact, he's the kind of player that could probably sign anywhere, and you'd be like, yeah, I see that. So the fact that Chelsea pulled him out of the bag for a price that you'd expect, I'm super down with. And then obviously, if you've gone on social media, you might have seen, Reece James followed him way before this deal. Like a month ago, 4 weeks ago, Pedro Neto was like commenting on Reece James's Instagram posts, and Reece James was like hearting them. That was like a month ago, and I imagine there was a little DM, come to Chelsea, mate. It's wicked here. We'd love you here. Chelsea's captain doing the agent work. But let's keep going, eh? Law goes on to write, despite the incomings to date, Chelsea have not ruled out adding at least one more player to their squad before the end of the month, and are prepared to play a waiting game over Napoli star Victor Osimhen, whom they would like to sign on a season-long loan. Just like to reiterate my position on this. I too would like to sign Victor Osimhen on a season-long loan. Similarly, Chelsea remain ready to react in the market should a place in head coach Enzo Maresca's squad be freed up by an exit or an opportunity to present itself as a result of moves elsewhere. Essentially, Chelsea remain open to being opportunists. And in a a preferred position of being relaxed and like, yeah, okay, we'll solve a problem for you here on really favourable conditions in our terms. And this is kind of like Victor Osimhen. Keep saying in recent videos, they want Lukaku. We can take or leave Osimhen. Osimhen not wanted by his coach, or not being considered by his coach at present, and he wants to get out. Again, very strong position for the Chelsea. The main focus for now, however, revolves around cutting the size of the first team squad. Amen, because it's ruddy ridiculous. With sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart said to be working 16-hour days to try and get through all the necessary work. Well, they'd have to work 16-hour days with the amount of people we got. Also, can I just offer Matt Law? I like Matt Law. I like him. He's a mate of my mates of the Londoners Blue Pod, so I ain't got any issue with Matt Law. But I do think he gets the juice straight from the club, which essentially is briefing, which obviously is being pushed in a certain direction, So I'm saying I'm very interested in hearing it myself, but I'm trying to be balanced here. Of course, Trevoh Chalobah, Armando Broja are free to leave Chelsea and are training with the club's development squad while their departures are being negotiated. Crystal Palace and Aston Villa are among the clubs interested in Chalobah, while Broja has interest from both the Premier League and Spain. I've said this before, man. I've been saying it. The reports are suggesting that Armando Broja has an immense amount of interest for him, man. Despite not really scoring goals in the last 2 years. As a striker, loads of clubs who clearly know more football about me look at him and think, yeah, he's the one. In fact, I tell you what, as stories develop on Armando Broja, we're going to pull him up on X Value and we're going to look at what this guy really is and then see why clubs want him. Because this morning's video, we did it on Raheem Sterling, and it just reminded me, damn, this guy is, he's very good. We have these moments as football fans, we see these frustrating little instances and we judge them holistically on that, but Raheem Sterling is really good. I'm not saying I wanted to keep him. He's on silly money. He's disappointed. Yeah, sell him respectfully, but... a little bit more negative here. Chalobah has been barred from using any of the first team facilities since Chelsea's return from the pre-season tour of the United States, which he was not taken on. Of course, the club recognises the situations of him and Broja will surprise supporters, but believe it's better for them to concentrate on their futures rather than giving them a false impression of their prospects. And to be fair, I'm not agreeing with it, but I understand it. And also, if you're letting them mix with the first team, they're going to be matey hanging out with that, and they need to. It's so cold-hearted, and I'd love Trevoh to stay, I'd love Gallagher to stay, whatever. But I get it. If you've made the decision, this is the plan. They're not on the plan. They're really valuable. They can make us money, and they can fund this plan that we believe will take us to the top. The best thing to do is to say to them, train, stay fit. Let's get you the best move for your career now. But having you mingling with the first team isn't the best way. Remain mates with them, see them out of football. But for the moment, for the Chelsea team training, And again, I feel uncomfortable saying that. I'm not preaching it. I'm not defending it. I'm playing devil's advocate, and I'm sort of seeing it from their cold, calculated, and business from perspective. I'm a sensitive sweet boy. It's not my vibe, but it's my job here to sort of highlight what, Wagwan. So yeah, let's jump onto Lulu then. What's going on with Lukaku, eh? Well, Matt Law writes the following. Romelu Lukaku is also trending away from Maresca's first team squad after Chelsea informed Napoli that they want £37.8 million, which of course is his current buyout clause met, and currently do not want to send him on another loan. Good, be firm. It remains to be seen whether the stance will have to change. Sadly, when it comes to Lukaku, the stance always has to change. That's one thing we've learned. Davidetro Fofana will move. Of course, Leicester City are interested in the striker. I personally think that's a good move. While midfielder Cesare Casadei, who spent half the loan at Leicester, can leave Stamford Bridge as well. Goalkeepers. Caparita Balaga could return on loan to Real Madrid. I think that's if they sell Andre Lunin. I think that's me speaking there. And Georgi Petrovic, who could join Chelsea's sister club, Strasbourg, also has interest in Fiorentina, while he will depart following the arrival of Philip Jorgensen. Gotta feel bad for Petrovic, but remember, he's coming from the MLS, and Chelsea's will always remain a good move for him in terms of getting into Europe. Chelsea moved quickly, of course, to sign Petrovic for initial £12 million at the end of the last summer transfer window after agreeing Kepa on loan to Real Madrid. Petrovic made 31 appearances in all competitions, which, Matt Law writes here, rightly, enhancing his own career prospects and his value in the market. He'll look back and be like, it was the correct move, even if he doesn't become Chelsea's number one, which it might have been like his high dream or whatever. Carney Chukwuemeka, who has been linked with Barcelona. I did see this, but I haven't spoken to you guys yet. He's been linked with Barcelona and AC Milan. Barca and Milan. This kid has got the streets and the superstar clubs as well. He may well be a subject of bids, of course, seen as a number of 8 and number 10 options in Maresca's system. The 20-year-old would face a considerable challenge of the likes of Cole Palmer, who's seen as one of these inside players, and Nkunku, Fernandes, Dewsbury Hall ahead of him. Leslie Ogachukwu is expected to go on loan. There's a possibility that 18-year-old Mark Gue, who arrived from Barcelona this summer, or even 20-year-old Amarodian will head on loan. On whether Chelsea land Osimhen or another frontman. That is interesting. Because we've all feared that Gue... Well, not feared. I mean, kind of feared, because we like the look of him, that Gue would go on loan. But Samu could go on loan. Maybe Chelsea just want to sign him, give him a 7+1 deal. Yeah, you're our player, because we think you can be wicked. Let's go and get you playing first-team football. And okay, let's just say Sevilla again, or something like that. And if you do well, you could be Chelsea. I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? If Chelsea get Osimhen, maybe they're like, we're going to loan both Gue and Samu, and we're going to have Nico and Victor Osimhen as our strikers this season. I mean, pretty good. We've got 2 really talented strikers away on loan, 2 Spanish strikers, and we've got a really good striker in Nico and an elite superstar in Osimhen playing in our first team. If they do that, then I'd probably feel that maybe a bit. Of course, Nkunku can play down the middle as well, but. Smart money, you'd have to say in that instance, should that happen, should that come to pass. A number of young players will also leave on loan, and are hopeful that this size of the squad will be far more manageable under Maresca by the end of the transfer window. He's facing some tough decisions, though, the Chelsea gaffer. Neto's arrival mean the club have 4 first-team wingers, unless one of them leaves. Palmer and Nkunku, who like to play as number 10. Of course, they could also play out wide. There's also issue on Ben Chilwell. It's a huge story, who the Italian admitted does not necessarily fit his profile of fullback, which means, I doubt Chilwell will go in this summer. Chelsea's owners are said to recognise that the style under Maresca will need time, and there's no need to panic to the 3 defeats. If you're pranging out about a new gaffer losing in pre-season, then you need to give your head a wobble. Ask me again 10 games into the Premier League campaign. And of course, tomorrow, we are playing Inter Milan at Stamford Bridge. I will do a match review to that, of course. Keep it locked. Indeed, it's understood that Maresca will be assured before the tour of the United States, that he was assured that they were not concerned about the prospect of losing pre-season games while he prepared to experiment with different ideas. Oh la la, doing our thing. Yeah, man, good. Lots of business. How are they doing it? Hacks, cheats, pure profit sales. Surely. Let me know what you think. As always, comment down below. Thank you very much for hanging out with me and supporting the content. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And I do hope to see you back here very soon, mate. All right, see ya. Peace.